Viewers, a fresh political controversy has erupted in Himachal Pradesh over the government's decision to impose a fee on visitors who trek to Churdhar Valley in Sirmaur district. Now, this user fee or new tax begins from 20 rupees and goes up to 1,000 rupees. It is 20 rupees for Himachalis, 50 rupees for non-Himachalis, 200 rupees for foreigners. Basically, for every category of visitor, the fee amount is different. Now, as per Sukhu government, this decision has been taken to protect the environment and maintain cleanliness of the area as far as the Churdhar Wildlife Sanctuary is concerned. So you must be wondering, what's the reason behind this political controversy over something like this? Well, there are two reasons actually. One, we're all aware of the financial situation of the hill state in the past. Also, some desperate measures were announced by Congress-led government to shore up the revenue. So is this move also aimed at generating some additional revenue for the government? Now, coming to the second reason behind this becoming a political issue. This place also has an ancient Shirgul Mahadev temple, and people visiting the temple have to pass through some portions of the sanctuary. Hence, the BJP has termed it as a fee on religious pilgrimage or Jiziya. BJP claims that such decisions prove that the Congress government is adamant about bringing Mughal rule back in the state at the behest of the party's leadership. Now, the Chief Minister, meanwhile, justified the decision saying that as per High Court's direction, there is a need to involve locals in the cleanliness drive. Outsiders go there, take water bottles, chips, etc. and throw it there only. And to clean this area, this was imposed. In fact, the Chief Minister also said that there is not going to be any tax on those who are visiting the temple. But listen in to the war of words that we are seeing happening on this decision of the Sukhu government.
ने चूड़दार मंदिर का जो मेरे बात ध्यान में लाई, उसमें हाई कोर्ट की डायरेक्शन है कि जो भी इको टूरिज्म की जो उसमें है, वहाँ से रास्ता जाता है, वहाँ क्लीननेस के लिए कुछ ना कुछ जो वहाँ के लोकल लोगों को इन्वॉल्व किया जाए। मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि चूड़दार में जब मंदिर की बात है, वहाँ अब कोई टैक्स नहीं लगेगा, वो मैं उसके बारे में पहले ही दिशा निर्देश दे चुका हूँ। लेकिन ये हाई कोर्ट कई बार कानून लगा देते हैं, तो जितने भी इको टूरिज्म की साइट है, वो इको टूरिज्म की साइट्स पर उन्होंने बोला कि जब बाहर के जो लोग आएंगे, हिमाचली को नहीं है, जब बाहर के लोग आएंगे, वो पानी की बोतल लेके जाते हैं, वो कॉर्नफ्लेक्स के पैकेट लेके जाते हैं, चिप्स के पैकेट लेके जाते हैं, फिर फेंक देते हैं।
तो ये बिल्कुल वही मानसिकता है जो एक समय में मैं कह सकता हूं कि जो मुगलों ने जजिया कर की जो शुरुआत की थी, उसी तरह की एक सोच ही है।
देखिए, औरंगजेब ने जजिया टैक्स लगाया था। ये तो कांग्रेस पार्टी का इसी प्रकार का काम होता है। हिमाचल प्रदेश में भी जिस प्रकार हिंदू पिलग्रिमेज साइट जाने के लिए सुक्खू सरकार ने टैक्स लगाया है, ये एक तरह से जजिया का काम ही किया है। जो औरंगजेब ने किया था वही कांग्रेस पार्टी ने किया है। निंदनीय है, और देखिएगा जल्दी इसे वापस भी लेना पड़ेगा।
गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया हैज बीन कलेक्टिंग ह्यूज अमाउंट GST from various trust of temples. Before they are raising any question on Himachal government, they should answer this question. They have issued a notice to Kerala temple, which is very famous temple, that for last 3 years you have not paid GST. And that notice is of hundreds of crores, I think 125 or more than that. So before raising this question, Bharatiya Janata Party should answer all these questions.
Joining us on the broadcast right now are my guests to discuss this particular issue. We have Chetan Brakta, spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Imran Ahmed Ali, lawyer and political analyst. Good evening to both of you. Thank you for joining us here on Times Now. Imran Ahmed Ali, let me begin this discussion with you. You heard the reactions from both the sides here. BJP has called this decision as anti-Hindu. BJP's allegation is that the Sukhu government in Himachal Pradesh, under the leadership of the High Command in the national capital, is adamant on Mughaliya Shasan, bringing back Mughal rule. And that is the reason why this kind of tax has been imposed. Your reaction?
You know, Hina, when I used to be in my history lesson in school, I used to often wonder what is the purpose of these lessons. Today, I'm glad that I paid attention. When we talk about jizya, it was religion specific. However, the imposition of the present tax is not religion specific. Anyone wishing to go to the area, whether you be of a particular religion or not of a particular religion, you could even be an atheist, but you will be still imposed to that particular tax. Now, if you see the larger perspective, today is the government of India willing to say that to all religious institutions, they will even ban toll. Now, on this logic, there should not be road toll, there should not be parking charges, there should not be entry charges. There are multiple expenses that a devotee has to incur when they go to a religious institution. Are we trying to say that all of those are also a part of jizya? Now, in no fit of imagination is this jizya. It is not religion specific. And because I belong to the area, I have been to Himachal multiple number of times. Irrespective of the government in power, there has always been an entry tax into Himachal. Now, I have not seen it in any other state. However, could we say that this is jizya on people visiting the state of Himachal? I'm sorry, this is really stretching it, and it is not on any particular basis. Comparing it to jizya is absolutely preposterous, and it is just probably for playing to the gallery.
Okay.
It does not make any sense.
Let's get the BJP to respond to the point you have made. BJP's Chetan Brakta is live with us. Chetan Brakta, you heard what Mr. Imran Ahmed Ali had to say, saying comparing it to jizya is preposterous. Perhaps only petty politics is something that's happening on this particular issue. How will you like to respond?
So you need to go about 3-4 months back. This government, the Congress government, the Sukhu government had imposed taxes. They had forcefully asking the Shakti Peeths, which is in Himachal, there are about a dozen of Shakti Peeths, to give money to, because government is financially, there's a financial emergency in Himachal as of now. They wanted money from the temples in Himachal Pradesh. We made a lot of hue and cry. Times Now also came in, a lot of media channels came in, and government was forced to withdraw that guidelines. Now, coming back to this point, this is not a tourist place. First, you need to go to Churdhar. I belong to that area. This is an apple growing area. It is not a tourist place. People don't go there hiking. People do not go there doing tourist activities. It's a path which leads to Lord Shiva temple at the top of the ridge, and people go there, offer their prayers. And majority, 99%, I am asserting this point, 99% people are locals. Now imposing tax on them is something which was unheard of. Now coming back to the point, which raises two fundamental questions. Going by the recent past and now, is following Hindu religion, doing worship, is a paid activity in this Congress regime? Why only Hindu temples and Hindu religious institutes are being taxed by this government? Why not mosques? Why not churches? Why this minority appeasement? This brings to a larger conclusion that Congress is fixed. It's a conspiracy. It's a hidden agenda. It's a broader anti-Hindu sentiment which this government is trying to prophesize in Himachal Pradesh.
So you've essentially made 3 points, and I'll ask Mr. Imran Ahmed to respond to each one of those. One, Mr. Imran Ahmed, is it not true that the debt of the state of Himachal Pradesh is a cause of big concern for the government? And in the recent past, we have seen the government announcing desperate measures because the situation is desperate. I was just looking at the numbers. The debt stands at around 1.02 lakh crore rupees. That's one. Point number two, BJP reiterating the stand that this decision is anti-Hindu. Point number three, 99%, as Mr. Chetan mentioned, of the people who visit this area are locals. They have to cross through some part of this sanctuary if they want to visit the temple. So eventually they will be taxed, as in they will be asked to pay this particular amount. And that's the reason why this issue has been raised by the locals and now by the BJP. Please respond.
So the first, with respect to debt, Himachal government is not the only government in India that is under debt. Every state has multiple expenses. These states are lesser developed compared to the neighboring states. I am in Punjab, I'm in Haryana. These states have developed much better than the state of Himachal, and any state that is progressing will always have more expenses in terms of infrastructure, in terms of for their general population, for bringing people above the
GDP
poverty.
going down. GDP is going down.
The second would be my co-spokesperson or my friend from the BJP saying that it is an anti-Hindu sentiment. I would like my friend to also understand that when it's a sanctuary, when it is an area of worship, it is not only a particular religion that wishes to go and pay their homage or pay their respect there. When we talk about imposition of taxes, this cannot be jizya because it is not religion specific. The third question was with respect to 99% of the population. I've also seen and read online before we actually researched on the particular topic today that this imposition was on and is on the trekkers that wish to go and pass the wildlife sanctuary and not purely on the devotees. Now, my only purpose here is that in this fit of imagination where we're trying to say that this is jizya, do we not understand that the other religious institutions which have particular expenses that every devotee are, and this is what I said in the beginning also, are not toll taxes jizya then? Are not parking charges in front of? I have never been to any religious institution that does not have a parking charge. So then do we say, is that also a tax on devotees? There are certain expenses that every religious institution, and here the wildlife sanctuary, that will have. Now, who is paying this? These are devotees who are going. Would it not be to the advantage of every person going there to see the area clean? Today, if you have to trek and go to that institution, to that religious temple, would you not want that area to get developed? Would you want?
Okay, I will get Chetan Brakta to respond to that. But Imrat Ali, very quickly, you said that every state has debt. I agree with you. But every state has not delayed salaries and pensions of its own people. Every state has not come up with desperate measures. Remember, there were some toilet taxes where it became a big story. Second point, you said that this user fee is only on those who plan to trek. Like I mentioned in the beginning itself, that it has become a big story today also because those people who are visiting the temple, they have to pass through some portions of the sanctuary. So, I mean, how will you really identify who's going where, who's going only for trekking and who's going for the temple? So very quickly, please respond, and then it'll be over to Chetan Brakta. Very quickly, 20 seconds only.
How do you know if the person is a local or not? It is evident today everyone in India has an Aadhaar card. And you know one thing, in front of every toll, when you live in a radius of
so you're saying that everybody will be inspected, there is going to be proper checking that's going to happen before this user fee is implemented? It will not be implemented, it will not be imposed on those who are just going to the temple, is what you're saying?
Is there not security reasons that we need to identify ourselves?
Chetan Brakta, please respond. Yes.
So please, Imran is not a local. I'm a local. I understand the whole the structure here, the path which goes up to the temple. So my two quick response to him. First, there are about more than 100 sites which are used for trekkers. Why not impose those taxes there? First. Second, it is a temple which is located at the top of that mountain. You are only taxing that temple, which the path leads to that temple. The question is this: so there are another 100 other sites. Why not taking that toll from those people? Third, you talked about the economic growth and the financial mismanagement. I am putting the words here. Please listen out. The per capita loan on Himachali is 1.5 lakhs. Per person per capita loan is 1.5 lakhs, which is highest in India. The GST collection has gone down. The GDP is going down. So wherever the loan is going, the debt is going, we do not know. There is not even a single welfare scheme which has been run by this government. There has been no new schemes which has come up. The old work which has been done by the Himachal BJP government in the past has been stalled. So there is a total जिसको हम बोलते हैं पूरी तरह से डेवलपमेंट यहाँ पे ठप हो चुकी है. So let's not talk on that. See, again, I'm coming to this point. For what this debate is that this is only anti-Hindu sentiments which Congress is trying to propagate within Himachal. In the past, they have done it. In 3-4 months back, please do your research. When the temples were taxed, and now again they have come again. So Congress has been defaulted time and again.
Imran Ahmed, isn't that a valid point that Mr. Chetan has made here? There are more than 100 such sites. In fact, if you look at Himachal Pradesh, the hill state, it's one of the, one among the top tourist destinations when it comes to trekking, hiking, etc. So, are you going to impose user fee on all such sites? And why not do it for all the sites? Because if the idea is only to maintain cleanliness of that particular area, then why not do it, across the state? Why only this one particular site? That's the view of the BJP, which is why BJP is saying that this move is nothing but anti-Hindu.
So the answer to Mr. Chetan's point number 1 versus point number 3. What I mean by that? When you say simultaneously that there is a lack of development, when you say simultaneously that there is a debt that is ever increasing in the state, how do you imagine that the government would actually collect revenue
by imposing 20 rupees? By imposing 20 rupees, you can come down on the debt, please. Okay. Let's not fool ourselves.
Listen, let's talk once. Let there be a little bit of civility between us. When you speak, I listen to you patiently. I'd expect the same in return. When we talk about 2025, that the year we're living in, you are still saying that you cannot, a person who is handicapped, a person who is not of a physical ability cannot reach the temple. Would you not want in the future that every devotee, irrespective of their physical capacity to reach that particular location? And how will that come about? That will only come out with development. Where is the government going to come up with the finances? From taxes. If those taxes are generated, it is only then the development will come forward. Till 2025,
But you still didn't answer my specific question, Imran, on,
yes.
Like Mr. Chetan mentioned, there are 100 plus such sites. Why not impose such user fee on every site? Why specifically target this particular site is the question.
I agree with you. Here, this is one thing we all three are on the same point. I say that if there is development required at any religious institution, irrespective of the religion, and there is a wildlife sanctuary on the way, or there are some circumstances that will help the government generate revenue to develop the area, why not?
Okay, but unfortunately it's not happening, and that's the reason why we are discussing it today. Chetan Brakta wants to respond.
See, again, I'm coming to the point. It's a big nexus. They want to just propagate the sentiment that the Congress is anti-Hindu. They have only imposed this tax in the places where Lord Shiva resides. Now my question again, 20 rupees, how can it, cut the deficit, the fiscal deficit? How will the revenue increase by 20 rupees? Only the local goes. It's not like lakhs of people are going to that site every 3 months or 4 months. It's a place, it's a very tough terrain. For about 8 months, this terrain is shut because of the heavy snowfall. 4 months people go. This is the time when people go up there. Rainy season people can't go. So hardly there is any footfall. How can you increase revenue by imposing 20 rupees or 1000 rupees or 500 rupees? So this is out of logic. This defies all mathematics. Coming back to the point, I request you and please convey our request to the Honorable Chief Minister. Please just do this null and void and take out this Aurangzeb tax out of Shirgul Maharaj Ji. It's our deity, it's our Kuldevta. Please do not insult Hinduism. Please do not insult our area, because it's Devbhumi. We will not allow this thing to happen in Himachal at least.
Okay, Mr. Imran Ali wants to respond. Yes.
Yeah, so while Mr. Chetan again calls it Aurangzeb tax, he never discussed how this tax was on a particular religion and not on the others. Going more forward in that, Chetanji once said one very specific thing. He said, how will 20 rupees help to develop that area? Chetanji, only 6.68% of India pays taxes in India. Yet the 100% of the nation runs with those taxes that only less than 7% pay. Now, if you say that a sizable amount of people go, whether it be 10 rupees, 20 rupees, it is a sizable amount for any development. And if there are directives of the Honorable High Court, a state will not be in contempt.
But you at least agree, Mr. Imran, that it should be done for all the sites if the idea really is to ensure that the areas remain clean? Do you agree that at least, it should be done for all the sites?
Absolutely, I agree with you. And probably the reason why this area would not have development is that there is no development.
Okay.
The other states which have religious institutions have parkings, They have,
All right.
they have a whole way of generating that revenue.
All right. We are completely out of time, but I get the point you're making. Thank you very much. We'll, of course, be tracking the story closely ahead as well. But thank you, both of you, for joining us on this very interesting debate. Chetan Bragda as well as Imran Ahmed Ali. Appreciate you joining us.